Alright guys, this is CroixDawg, and today we're going to be probably running about 2 or 3 matches. And right now we're playing a 55 turbo against a guy, Kieser, and I guess this volume thing isn't going to close for us. Okay, 3 bets us first hand, not calling the 10-7. So now we'll see if he keeps up the aggression. Okay, he's just based on his raising speed, he's probably going to be pretty aggressive. Just the ability how he didn't think before raising. So okay, now he's going to be very aggressive, and he's probably going to try to run us over. So now we're not going to raise some buttons off, and now we're going to throw out some limps. And see some flops. He's probably going to raise up out of position. Okay, but we will raise to 2 9s. 2 overcards hit. I don't mind checking this down. Bet's half pot. We're going to call and see what he does on the river. It's a scare card. He checks. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a 10 here. I'm not going to fire. I'm just going to check. And he had total air though, so that's good. Okay. Check the king high from the big blind. And hopefully he'll let us check it down, and yes. I think next time I'm gonna limp that ace-5 against him because it doesn't really fare too well against a 3-bet. He came out raising the first 3 hands, and now he's limped and just called a sense, or just called a raise. Okay, we have a gut shot here. We're gonna call. Not sold on him having a big piece. Sorry, we hit it. The queen just makes a straight now, and he folds. Gonna start throwing out against this guy who's we've seen is pretty aggressive. Well, he's just totally changed gears. Maybe he just got really hot the first 2 hands. I'm going to throw out some mid-raise and control the pot a little bit more. Alright, he paused there for a while. I think he has a really big hand here, so we're going to call and try to hit our set. Missed, and now just have no problem just check folding. Alright, he 4x'd it. We're going to call with the king jack. Flub nothing. Check again. And just check it down. Probably as ace high. On this board, I'm going to throw in a little raise. Chance for us to represent the ace. If he has a queen, he still might call us, and we have a chance to hit a king or a jack. Wow, he beat us into the pot with a shove. Yeah, this guy, he's either picking up some pretty big hands or he plays pretty reckless. I'd lean more toward the side of playing pretty reckless. But we don't mind playing against that style. We just have to make a hand or 2, and he'll probably pay us off. We're going to call it the ace high because he fired a half-pot barrel with it. His 9-7 earlier, so don't mind calling here. Uh, we do have the ace of diamonds. I don't really feel like against these kind of players I should get too tricky and try a bluff. He'll probably call me at the 10. I'm pretty sure that's what he has. Just going for value. Just don't think we're going to be right high enough a percentage of the time. I don't think that he's going to throw out a quarter pot bet as a bluff. I don't think that he's really that sophisticated. I don't really think that many of us are that sophisticated. We flop two pair, bet out the pot on the turn. He raised us pretty quickly. Not going to re-raise here. Probably only going to get put in by hands that are beating us. But we'll probably check call a river bet. And yeah, he has a king. So, not knowing that much about him though, he might have called a shove with that hand. Okay, could have bet a little over half pot here. And he keeps putting in committing bets or just shipping a stack in at the 15-30 level. So one of these times when we lead out, we will have a nice hand. Sorry for the yawns. I just woke up a little bit ago. Like if we would flop like a 3-4-5 flop here with a 6-7, I'd lead out probably for 40 because every time we've led out, he's raised us. Granted, it's only been 2 times. I just like to randomize against these kind of players. I like to throw in a few 3x's, a few min raises. We haven't really limped yet, but I like to mix up the raising style. No reason to make a move here. It's our king high. I don't think I don't want to really be calling down with that kind of hand. I'm just gonna wait until we make a pretty good hand. We saw how the 7-3 worked for us earlier. I think that won us pretty nice size pot. We get 900 chip pot. So if we just make a hand, I'm sure he'll pay it. Okay. This is the hand I was talking about, the ace-7. I'm going to lead out. He makes a raise. I'm just going to call here. And I'm not folding no matter what the board comes. And of course, that helps a lot. And yeah, drawing dead. Drawing to a 1-out chop. Down to 100 chips. Yeah, we want to try to get them all in as many times as we can. So we already have 15 chips in. It helps whenever you're pretty lucky and you flop straights. So it's an easy game. We'll look at look at a few of these hands. Early he was just running us over. Like we would try C bets, like this 9-6 hand, and he would raise the pot pretty high amount, more than 7 times our bet, and that happened on a few occasions. Yeah, we tried throwing out a little flop raise there. If he does have a queen, he's probably just going to call. And this was early in the match, so we didn't expect him to just shove all in, to lead out for half pot and then shove all in. So we expected him to call with a queen, fold just as random air, or random lead out air, fold a 4. And if he just called with a queen, or we'd probably just expect him to call with an ace, then we could see if we could peel off a jack or a king and play the pot from there. Most of those pots weren't that interesting. Our 7-3 hand, we played it pretty cautiously. Again, don't think if we're shipping it in here, even though it's a nice, we have two pair. He checked behind the flop. I against him, he probably actually would have put it in if we check shoved all in, but it's really a risk not worth taking to me. And our last hand, we let out for 2/3 pot. He insta raised us again. We thought he could just have any two, so we, instead of shoving and not really um, getting good value, we just called, and then the turn just gave us gin, giving us the bout. Check shoves. Actually, did have an ace, and we won the match. So start another match up here real soon. All right, guys. Here we're starting our next match against Zopa 1989. Right away, I'm just noticing that he has a bronze star, so I'm not thinking that he's gonna have the most experience. Again, it's just an assumption, but so we'll see. We'll see how the match goes. I'm gonna start off here min raising. Probably go into more 3xing, just depending. Fire out a half pot continuation bet. Pretty safe board. But we got check raised. And no reason just dump it. Unless I know that a player is going to get tricky with us, I don't really see any reason to fool around and get in like really interesting situations by by like c bet. He raises, then I put him on just a king and try to get him off of it. I don't really like to get into that too much because I think that a lot of times I'll end up outthinking myself and just okay. We flopped bottom pair with the gut shot. Now he made two pair. Lead out for 80. Just hoping to get called, and we probably would have. Oh yeah, well, I had a straight. And if he would have raised us there, we probably would have folded. All right, I don't like this board to c bet. A lot of these hands he's going to call us with a 7. Hopefully he'll give us a freebie. Now we can hit the 7 for the higher straight or the jack for the nuts. King. If he checks to us, we'll probably just try to represent the king and throw out an 80 chip bet. But he bets, and so right early we're getting run over. I forgot to mention this is another 55 turbo. Right away we're getting run over. We've won 2 pots, so we're gonna try to change that trend. Three pots now, yay! Keeping it aggressive from the button, and then we get to dictate the hand. He's raised us a lot. I think that now is a good time to throw out a 3 bet. He's been raising us a lot from the button. Just seems like another raise. So I like this time to mix it up. And when we have a 1200 stack, 60 chips helps a lot. 60 chips will always help, but and he folds to us. Alright, he limps in. We'll just check our gay waiter. Just keep be we're just gonna keep being aggressive from the button. That I like that style, um, especially against who I would perceive to be weaker players. I would say my style is, and not saying that this guy is necessarily weak or strong, but just based on the Bronze Star. Um, Against weak players, I like to bump it up a lot pre-flop, and then really call here with the ace-6. Um, really take the match to my pace. See bet when I want to see bet, and I like to turn them into passive players, and then I can control the action based on what's been going on, and I can try to manipulate them into doing what I want them to do. Like I like knowing whenever they're getting fed up by all my C bets, and when I actually have a good hand, then trying to get the max value out of it. Just call here with ace-6 suited. Sometimes I'd 3-bet this, but we've won a few consecutive pots. Yeah, we've won 4 of the last 5, and could see him getting frustrated and stubborn here easier. Alright, we flopped an ace. Okay, he bets 2/3 pot. Definitely not a believer in him. We don't want to see a big turn bet though. Now we don't really mind. If he has a jack, then it's just sick. Now he might call us at the king high, but we're gonna try to represent a busted flush draw. I don't really think. I think checking to him, he'd check behind because he still can beat a busted flush draw. I'll limp this hand. We have a queen high, not too bad, but I don't really want to raise it. We did flop the queen. It's only another half a big blind to call. Uh, these hands are I really wouldn't recommend calling too much with these kind of hands, but I like calling with them because I feel like I can play them pretty comfortably after the flop. But these are the kind of hands that can get you in trouble if you're always calling them 3x. Like you need to really flop strong to feel comfortable with it. Like a lot of times you'll flop middle pair with an 8, and then it's tough to let go, especially to some of these guys at the lower levels who will just bluff whenever they have 90 chips in the pot. Gonna defend here with the 6-4 suited. Pretty hand. Okay, now we're gonna go. We're gonna bet out a little over 2/3 pot and take it down. These are my favorite kind of hands. Like this might be one of my favorite hands, even though it can be considered a trap hand. I just love these hands. But we totally whiffed, and just easy to give it up. Actually, just gonna fold. Show them we're capable of folding. Flop middle pair on a pretty scary board. turned into two pair. I expect him to. I don't necessarily believe he has a heart here. I think because we checked twice, so we'll call. And he had the three of hearts. When he took us to Value Town. The difference between me folding my Jack 4 and my Jack Deuce is okay, we're gonna make a small 3-bet here with this King Queen. We really didn't want to see a shove there. That would have sucked. But I raised the Jack Deuce because it's suited, and he just won a pot too. He just won his three of hearts pot, so he's just more likely to fold it, and not whenever he's been losing more pots, just get more stubborn. I've been asked a few times why I still triple whenever they're even stacks, sometimes at 25-50, and it's still 30 big blind poker. And I don't think a lot of people. I will still min raise hands, but I don't think people will really defend at all. It's for a tenth of their stack. I don't think they're going to defend that wide at all, and I don't think that this guy who hasn't 3-bet us once is going to shove or put in a 3-bet without a really premium hand. So if we can get ourselves to dictate, if we can dictate the action, have him fold out a very high percentage of his big blinds, and just add a big blind that way, and have him call much more a much smaller percentage of the time, and us have the button, then we're in good shape there. I won't always do it with the same. Okay, he min raises. I won't always do it with 5-3 suited. Sometimes I'll limp, sometimes I'll min raise it, but I do like tripling at even stacks. We called his min raise. Totally just missed the flop. Easy check fold. His oh, sorry guys. His first min raise in the match. I got another triple. He's really given up his big blind without too much resistance. Just folding the 5 deuce. But now here's a hand that just with 30 big blinds deep, you can't really fold. Even if that would be the first time he would 3-bet shove us, I'm not folding. All right, I'm gonna make a smaller 3-bet here and expect him to fold it a lot. That min raise, that timing of that just seemed pretty quick compared to his other ones, which were more thought out. So I think that was just like, I'm gonna throw out a limp here. Nice flop bottom two, and we're just gonna hope he has a piece. No. That one was just a really quick min raise, and didn't think it was as thought out. So I think it was in a decent spot to just put in a small 3-bet. Alright, we'll defend here with the King 7. We don't want to keep 3-betting him too often and have him get, like, the tempo of this match is perfect for us right now. We're just slowly chipping him down at the 25-50 without really making any ridiculous plays. Like, we're just setting the tempo. Alright, min raised again. I'm going to make that same 280. Obviously calling a shove. And we're up against 2 6s, so we're off to the races. Not the best way that I wanted this match to turn out, but good flop. and we won the flip. So didn't really want this to turn into a coin flip, but we're not folding whenever we put in 280 and it's another 1010 to call, or not just another 1000 to call. There weren't that many really interesting spots in the match. Not really any hands worth going over. I didn't expect him to check a heart on the flop and then come out bet half pot. I thought that would be a bluff a lot more than it would be something like the 8 of hearts plus. And I really didn't think that he would bet his 3 of hearts for value. I'm not sure if that was. I don't even think that was. I don't even know what it was. But we always had our chance to hit 4 outs for the boat if he did have a decent flush. And I don't think he'd have a flush too often at all. So that hand was just a little interesting. Trying to value bet with our 2 pair on a pretty scary board. The Jack 9, the 9-6, and just any 6 makes a straight. He just called us with the straight, which was a little surprising. Shows a little bit that he was pretty passive, which is the way that it was for the match. And yeah, just a pretty standard match, and we won a coin flip. Lucky us. So I think that's all for this video. Any requests for future videos, you guys can just email me, CroixDawg at HUSNG.com. We are going to come out with that pro versus pro video soon and get it from both of our perspectives. I think that would really be whenever you play regulars, I think that would really help get in their head. Although there might be a little bit of gamesmanship and like a few levels beyond just typical regular versus regular play. Like we're probably both just going to want to outclass each other, and there will be some dynamics that you're not going to see normally in a regular versus regular match. But all right, so that's all for me. Any questions? Any comments on the video? You guys can leave them on the video page or just email them to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, take it easy. Good luck, guys.